Sure. Hats off to McNeese. Obviously, they played better than we did and had the opportunity to win the game, and they did. And, we just, quite honestly, didn't play good enough and turned the ball over too many times. And I don't think the kicking game was exceptionally great. That's pretty much the story of the day today. Way too many unforced errors on the offensive side of the ball. Defense let a couple runs out. I think it's pretty much the way it went. But very grateful for our seniors and all they've done for our program. And, the wins and losses, this one will hurt for sure for a few days because, who knows how this is going to go. And then just miss the guys that are in that locker room, the seniors that are going out the door that kind of helped us turn the trajectory of Lamar football.
Last drive, still had a chance to win the game. What happened on those last few plays? Do you think that kind of stalled the offense there?
We had an unforced error. We snapped the ball on a whistle. We had a penalty. We had a drop. It's just a story of our season offensively. We're so choppy. You can't seem to get rhythms, and overall, it seemed very choppy on offense. And the last drive before that, we went down the field running the ball, and and you can do that, except you can't get behind the sticks. We're first and 15, and Aiden gets his helmet knocked off. On third down, we snap it when Aiden's not ready, and it was a calamity of errors, and unfortunately, that's you can't win games against rivals in those types of games by doing things like that.
Big Six, obviously, a big play in the game. Was that a screen out to was that a screen set up out to the flat, and was that tipped or kind of take us?
No. He picked it right out of the air. He was engaged with the tackle, and the guy that was supposed to be out in the flat got tripped up, and Aiden wasn't expecting him to kind of be there. He was engaged with the tackle, and then all of a sudden he kind of popped out, and the kid made a great play, and obviously ran it back for a touchdown, but just can't make those plays. Those are plays that change the outcomes of games, and kudos to them. They made them. We did not. So we didn't make enough of those plays. We had one maybe on Christian interception. We get the ball deep in there, and we do absolutely nothing with it on offense. So.
The driving response to that, though, you guys go right back downfield and score. I think Xavier Bowman had a big run.
Yeah.
He had a big night in general. How were you able to scheme some things up for him to get things going?
The plays that were working were plays that he's really good at, and we just took advantage of it by kept putting him in there, and he was seeing it really good, and he was playing fast, and when the back's doing that, and I thought the line was blocking pretty good, and getting him to the second and third levels, and he was obviously making big runs and getting us in a position to do that. So it was great. It was great running, great blocking. Thought the play calling was pretty good. And then, last drive we're trying to do the same thing, and we're moving the ball. We get the ball obviously over midfield and, have an opportunity on fourth down. They go all out blitz, and, quite honestly, I probably should have called the timeout there. I didn't, and, unfortunate. So that last play is probably on me more than it is anybody else.
When McNeese did have success offensively, what were they finding against you guys, do you think?
Counter. Yeah, they ran counter. Guard tight end pull and kicking it out, and the guy was creasing it, getting vertical, and we weren't fitting it correctly, and they just got out a couple times on those, and then the last play of the game was a guy makes a great individual effort. We're right there. Everybody's fitting the right gaps, and they just make a play and kill the clock.
Obviously big playoff implications with this game. What would you say is as far as a possible playoff pick for you guys? I'll give you a chance to, I guess, make the case for Lamar.
We beat a lot of good teams. I know that. And our schedule, the last 4 games of the schedule, if you're the Southland Conference or you're the National Conference and you see we played UIW, and I get it, You say UIW is X, Y, and Z. They're UIW. They got really good players, and they play great. They're the number, I think, 6 defense in the country against the run. The next week we play Stila, who is maybe the number 12 defense in the country, and scoring 46 points a game. The next week we play SFA on the road, and then the last week we play all our conference rivals. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody that played a tougher schedule at the end? Let me know, because maybe there's a couple teams in the Missouri Valley, but ain't nobody down here that's played that kind of schedule. Nobody. SFA was the number 2 defense in the nation when we played them. So, and ranked in the top 10. So I just feel like we've done enough. If we don't get voted in, fine. I mean, they're going to make their decisions. It was a 2-point loss at home, and to a rival, and we'll see how it goes. But I feel like our team played really, really well, and throughout the course of the year, we had 2 top 15 wins in South Dakota and Southeastern, and I thought we played pretty well the entire year. So until obviously we lost 3 of the last 4, but I mean, you lost by 7 to UIW, you lose on the road by 11 to SFA, who again is number 3 defense in the country. You beat Sela, and you lose to your rivals on the last drive. So I feel like we're ready. I hope they do it. If they don't, it is what it is. I'm proud of my team. A lot of the things that we went through this year, we had 5 guys with season-ending injuries, 4 of them before the season started. That were all guys that were going to play for us. Guys stepped up. We played musical chairs at quarterback pretty much the whole year. Proud of our offensive line. 5 guys played 12 games together. Didn't really have anybody get injured. So proud of those guys, how they toughed it out. So I think that's kind of what's happened.
You mentioned it, but the seniors. I mean, playoffs aside, what do you want to say about what they were able to do?
Oh my gosh! I mean, they were 1-10. They were 1-10. Nobody's been able to get this thing moving in the right direction for a sustained amount of time. I mean, one flash in the pan in 17, and once in I think 09 or whatever. But I mean, 19. But where they won 8 games or 17, whatever that was. I mean, these guys have had winning seasons 3 years in a row. That hasn't happened here since the 60s, and I owe them a lot. And I owe them a lot. And I know I gave them a lot. I gave them everything I had, and our coaches did too. And, in the end, I'm proud of what they did. I know our university's proud. It's put us on the map. The grandstands were filled today. That was fun to see. I just wish, we obviously came out on the other end for them. But it's nice to see the home stands filled again at Lamar. And, I know that the future will be bright here with the leadership that we have and in the university, and obviously our coaching staff. Hopefully we don't get poached too bad in the off season. I'm sure some of those guys will get jobs. They're really good coaches, and but we'll continue to grind and get another team ready to go next year, and it should be fun.